Reported to investigators. 36-year-old Daniel Hakim faced a judge today in Salem. He's accused and was indicted on 32 counts of indecent assault and battery on children under 14. Prosecutors say the incidents took place between 2015 and 18 at the elementary school where he was a gym teacher.
And include allegations of inappropriate touching of children's breasts and buttocks, reaching up the young girls' shirts or down their pants, touching their buttocks or genital areas inside and outside of their underwear.
Hakim stopped teaching in Salem.
Hey there, thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel. I am the Hoodoo Goddess, a law of attraction spiritual consultant. I am anti-religion, anti-Jesus, anti-work, anti-government, and I am an antinatalist. I am 32 years old. I live in South Florida. I am an entrepreneur, and I help people manifest their desires by realizing the God power within themselves. So today I'm coming to you with a video about unconditional love and what I really think unconditional love is, because I think that we've been programmed with the definition of unconditional love instead of using our logic and our reason to decide for ourselves what unconditional love truly is. And so I'm here today to discuss what I believe to be unconditional love. So in the beginning of the video, I posted a news clip story about a gym teacher who was arrested about a week and a half ago for indecent assault on 10 female students. And, I'm not sure why they categorized it as indecent assault instead of sexual assault, because listening to his actions, such as fondling and groping the young women's breasts, reaching into their panties, fondling them in their panties, I would categorize that as sexual assault. And so I'm really questioning the sanity and the morality and the quote unquote unconditional love that, natalists and parents and people who are so pro reproduction have for their biological children, by bringing them into this corrupt world, this corrupt rat race system, where we are constantly working for a fake piece of paper with no value, and we spend most of our time at work. Regardless if you like or dislike your job, it doesn't negate the fact that we're still slaves to this worthless piece of paper in this corrupt system. So I really question the sanity and the morality of people who go ahead and reproduce children in the same corrupt rat race Ponzi scheme. I really question how could that truly be love for child, and maybe love for self, because you had the child, you had the baby, because it was going to fulfill some want and desire within yourself. It was going to give your life purpose and meaning. It was going to give you the family that you always felt like you wanted, or whatever the case may be. And I don't have a 9-to-5. I'm very anti-work. I don't want to work at nobody's fucking job. I don't want to sit in traffic driving to nobody's goddamn job to help anybody become a millionaire off of my blood, sweat, and tears. But I scroll through social media a lot, and I see all these posts about people complaining about being stuck in a rat race system where they have to constantly work. They're overworked and underpaid, overworked and underappreciated. And then you click on their profile and they have like 3-4 kids. And I'm just like, what logical sense does this make? what logical sense does this make at all? Like, you hate this system, but then you're going to reproduce children into the same bullshit Ponzi scheme system? Like, were you just that needy? Like, what was it? Did you not even think that far ahead? Were you just thinking about having your little mini me that you can dress up and, you know, play with the doll and, you know, get affection, kiss on the baby, since the baby, you know, doesn't have the ability to tell you don't fucking kiss me in my goddamn mouth or whatever, you know? Did your need, desire override any logic that you had, or did you just not even think that far ahead? You know, I feel like personally I would just never reproduce a child into this Ponzi scheme rat race system that I've always hated since I was about 14 years old. I realized that this shit was a Ponzi scheme back then, and I wanted no parts of it. And I was just like, why do I have to keep jumping through all these hoops? Like, why do I have to do all of this shit? I didn't ask for none of this. I didn't request any of this. And I always question, like, what is this school system really about? I have to raise my hand if I need to go take a shit? Like, I have to spoke when I'm spoken to? I have to stand up for the fucking Pledge of Allegiance? I don't even believe in none of this shit that I'm saying. So, you know, as an antinatalist, I didn't even know, you know, this term existed until about a year ago. I didn't even know this term existed. I didn't know there was other people that felt the same way that I felt. And once I did, man, I took off with the whole philosophy. And it just makes so much sense to me. I didn't consent to this life. Yes, I'm here already, and yes, I'm going to make the best of it. But I would never, ever reproduce a child into this bullshit rat race system that doesn't work for the majority of us. I mean, who does it really work for? Honestly. It's a rat race system, and it's built a particular kind of way for us to constantly be working. Even if you're a doctor, even if you're a lawyer, even if whatever, you have some career that society deems as important or as successful, which is a very loosely termed used word, but that's another video on another day. I mean, even if you have a career that people deem as a successful career, you're still stuck in a rat race system. I'm stuck in a rat race system as an entrepreneur working from home. I'm stuck in a rat race system. I still have to provide for my own self and provide my basic necessities and pay for water and pay for bullshit, pay for electricity. And I'm like, you know, I live in Florida, and our electricity company is FP&L, and I'm just like, who are they, and why do they have control over the electricity, and why do I have to constantly pay them every fucking month for my electricity? And the whole system is just set up for us to constantly be working. I mean, even the birth certificate that you sign when you have a baby in the hospital, the birth certificate that you sign is a legal binding contract between the child and the United States, which is a corporation. It's a bonding contract. If you don't believe me, go ahead and start researching. I wouldn't recommend Google as a research site, because Google is not going to take you down a rabbit hole, because it's trying to withhold as much information from you as possible. But go ahead and, you know, research trust. Type in the word strawman trust, government, American government. and go ahead and see how far down the rabbit hole you're going to go. And I mean, even before I had knowledge of, this birth certificate being used to launder money through the system with the American government, I realized that this shit was a Ponzi scheme. I realized the shit was a Ponzi scheme early on in the game. And by the age of like 24, I told myself that I would never reproduce a child into the system. Never. Because that wouldn't be love. In my eyes, that wouldn't be love. And now these 10 poor, innocent 10 girls are going to have to, probably go through years and years of therapy to resolve this trauma. And the trauma is trauma ever resolved, or do we just learn how to cope with it? We just learn how to cope with it through life and get through life with the trauma. I don't believe it ever goes away. We just learn how to cope with it. We learn breathing techniques. We learn meditation, yoga, and it's just how to cope with it. It never goes away though, especially when you're at the times where, you're just going through it mentally. That's when the trauma resurfaces the hardest. So these poor innocent souls, these 10 young women who didn't give their parents consent to bring them into existence, didn't ask to be brought into existence, to go through this bullshit Ponzi scheme rat race system, now have to overcome this trauma. And just look at this gym teacher's face. Like, he looks pathetic. He looks like a predator. And if I was in charge of the hiring process, he would have never passed my damn third eye intuition. He would have never passed the test. I would have never fucking hired him. He looks like a fucking predator, and he has 5 kids of his own, and they need to be interviewing those 5 kids to find out if he's been touching and molesting on them, because somebody who is this disgusting, he has no morals, no ethics, no values, and he will touch his own children just to satisfy his own fucking devious sexual thoughts or to satisfy his own needs. But again, I just want to take it back to the initial point of this video. What is unconditional love? To me, unconditional love is protecting your children from all unnecessary harm, protecting your children from violence, from rape, from depression, anxiety, by all means, by not bringing them into existence, by leaving them in the void where problems will never exist for them. Unconditional love is me being content and happy with my own life and living my life the best way possible, being the best version of myself, and leaving my non-existent children in the complete void of nothingness. Please comment, subscribe, let me know what you think about this video. I love a good debate, so I don't mind having a good debate. But if you're going to throw insults as a first resort, you've already lost your week. And come up with something better. I'm going to also leave the link to my website in the description box below. You can go on my website, see what different programs I offer. My telephone number and my email address will also be on my website. So if you want to get in contact with me, feel free to reach out to me via email or text message. I don't charge anything to text or to email, but if you want to have a phone consultation with me, that will be $20. And until next time.